Sunday's Brickyard 400 delivered more than just another checkered flag celebration. Bubba Wallace's victory at Indianapolis Motor Speedway sent shockwaves through NASCAR's establishment, proving that 2311 Racing refuses to back down from their fight against the sport's most powerful entity. Wallace snapped a 100-race winless streak in the most dramatic fashion possible. The 31-year-old driver held off Kyle Larson in double overtime, becoming the first black driver to win on Indianapolis Motor Speedway's historic oval. But this victory carries weight far beyond the trophy case. Wallace said this after climbing from his car. "It's unbelievable. To win here at the Brickyard, knowing how big this race is, knowing all the noise that's going on in the background, to set that all aside is a testament to these people here on this 23rd team. That noise in the background represents 2311 Racing's antitrust lawsuit against NASCAR and CEO Jim France. The team, co-owned by Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan, filed the legal action in October alongside Front Row Motorsports owner Bob Jenkins. Their target, NASCAR's allegedly anti-competitive charter agreements. 2311 Racing's legal battle reached a critical point weeks before Wallace's Indianapolis triumph. The United States Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit overturned a preliminary injunction that allowed the team to race as a chartered entry this season. A U.S. district judge then refused to provide a temporary restraining order to prevent NASCAR from revoking their chartered status. The court rulings forced 2311 Racing to compete as an open team, substantially reducing their race revenue compared to chartered competitors. Wallace's victory made 2311 only the third open entry to win a NASCAR Cup Series race since the charter system's implementation. As a non-chartered open team, however, 2311 receives substantially less race revenue compared to other teams on the grid that are competing on charters. The financial reality hit home immediately after Wallace's celebration. Michael Jordan called Wallace personally after the victory. "He was just so proud," Wallace said. "I said, I wish you were here for it. He was like, he's going to have a drink or two for me tonight, so we'll be celebrating together in spirit." The reduced prize money served as an immediate reminder of 2311 Racing's ongoing struggle. Despite winning one of NASCAR's 4 crown jewel races, the team's financial return paled compared to what chartered teams receive for similar achievements. Wallace's path to victory required everything 2311 Racing has fought to prove about competitive balance. He assumed the lead after Ryan Blaney pitted on lap 143, building a 6-second advantage over Kyle Larson. The Hendrick Motorsports driver was closing the gap, but Wallace held steady. Rain changed everything with less than 5 laps remaining. NASCAR issued the red flag, bunching the field for overtime. Wallace faced a critical fuel situation, saving every drop during pace laps. The first overtime restart saw him clear Larson cleanly before a crash brought out another caution. The team's second overtime decision demonstrated their championship-level thinking. They chose to stay out and gamble on fuel rather than surrender track position. Wallace doubled down and decided to stay on track. The field safely reached the white flag, and Bubba had enough fuel to take the win. He even had enough left in the tank for a burnout. Denny Hamlin watched the drama unfold from third place, setting the fastest lap on the final circuit while chasing his teammate and Larson. Hamlin said this on his Actions Detrimental podcast.
"This race has always brought the best drivers, teams, engine department, aero department. It's always brought the best out of everyone. Look at the guys that were battling up front, right? It was the 5, the 24, the 11, the 45. The 45 was up there. Like, stop me if you heard this before. It's the same 4 to 5 every single week. So
the victory created a compelling situation for Denny Hamlin. As a driver, he finished third after starting 39th due to a qualifying crash that destroyed his primary car. As a team owner, he celebrated his biggest triumph since forming 2311, racing in 2020. Hamlin joined Wallace in kissing the Indianapolis Motor Speedway bricks, a tradition reserved for race winners. The gesture sparked controversy among fans who questioned whether an active driver should participate in another team's celebration, even his own. Hamlin defended his decision, saying,
"I'm into superstition a little bit, but not that much. Not that much. Not to where I'm going to keep myself from enjoying the moment as a team owner. You know what I mean? I don't want to, well, I don't want, because I'm still driving, I might have a chance. Like, well, I don't know if my team will have another opportunity to win that either. So I'm going to take the advantage when I can get it.
The 58-time Cup Series winner emphasized the difference between his driving and ownership roles.
So because I can assure you it's much harder to win as a team owner than it is a driver. Because, Joe Gibbs and that whole team, they do all the work. All I have to do out here each weekend is drive it to the best of my ability. And I got to.
Hamlin's perspective on team ownership versus driving reveals the financial and organizational challenges 23XI racing faces.
Building a team from scratch is a huge undertaking. And so you feel more gratification because I had my hand in every little piece of that race team, from the branding to the sponsorship to the competition to the everything.
Wallace's victory came at the perfect time for 23XI Racing's legal and competitive battles. Hamlin had grown concerned about his driver's motivation and work ethic, questioning whether Wallace wanted success as badly as the organization demanded.
When I hired Bubba, and certainly when we first started out, I believed in his capability, not necessarily the results that he had shown, but I understood his potential. And then it was kind of, a time where we were wrestling of like, man, do I want it better, worse than him or not? Like, I can't make him want it. He's going to have to come. That's going to have to come from within.
The turning point arrived in mid-2024.
Something happened mid last year where I saw a change in attitude that then changed work ethic. And so what I'm hoping he takes from this is that hard work pays off. It really does pay off.
Charles Danicki's arrival as crew chief accelerated Wallace's development. The former U.S. Army member brought accountability and structure that impressed both Hamlin and Jordan.
Yeah, he's been working really hard. His crew chief is definitely doing a great job of giving him what he needs, giving him the information he needs, asking the right questions to Bubba, holding him accountable on the work side of things. I think that's the key.
Wallace's emotional growth became evident in his race performance and public statements.
His peaks and valleys weren't, he shallowed that up. His valleys weren't as low. I think it seemed like on the bad days he was able to compartmentalize that and then think about the positives versus everything sucks all the time.
Wallace's Indianapolis victory carries historical weight that extends beyond NASCAR's current political battles. He became the first black driver to win on the 116-year-old oval, where black competitors were once banned. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway's history includes the American Automobile Association's Gentleman's Agreement to never grant racing licenses to black drivers. Black businessmen in Indianapolis created the Colored Speedway Association in the early 1920s to challenge this exclusion. The Golden Glory Sweepstakes became their marquee event, featuring 100-mile races at the Indiana State Fairgrounds' mile-long dirt oval. Charlie Wiggins won the event 4 times before a career-ending accident in 1936 collapsed racing's equivalent of the Negro League. LAA lifted its ban and granted a racing license to Joy Ray in 1947, the same year Jackie Robinson broke baseball's color barrier. However, no Golden Glory driver ever raced in the Indianapolis 500. Wallace's victory came 101 years after the first Golden Glory Sweepstakes. When NASCAR visited the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the inaugural Brickyard 400 in 1994, it was viewed as a moment of historic proportions. The race was the first time in 78 years that the track hosted an event other than the Indy 500. Wallace's playoff-clinching victory positions 23XI Racing for their most successful season. Tyler Reddick in the number. 45 Toyota holds a strong points position and appears likely to make the playoffs as well.
It's a milestone for us, and so our next objective is getting a win with Riley. Obviously, with him learning, Daytona is probably going to be his best shot.
The 26-year-old Herbst has struggled to match his teammates' performance throughout 2025. Getting all three 2311 racing cars into the playoffs would represent a significant organizational achievement. The team operates differently from most NASCAR organizations, with drivers, crew chiefs, and employees working across all three cars without traditional divisional barriers. Hamlin's confidence in Wallace's playoff potential reflects the driver's recent transformation. Wallace made the 2023 playoffs on points and finished 10th overall. He can do it. He can go on a deep run. He did that before he became the new Bubba that I know now.